So far this free agency, Nico Harrison has done all the right moves to get this team ready to win the championship. We did a signing trade to get Klay Thompson. We signed Najee Marshall. We got Quentin Grimes. We trade away Tim Hardaway Jr. Every move that we've made so far in this free agency has been to set this team up for success. But we still have one roster slot and about $4 million left that we could use to go out and get just one more person to just round out the roster. And according to reports, we have pretty good odds of getting a specific brother to a player on the team. So in this video, we're going to break down all those reports, take a look at this player, see if they fit the Dallas Mavericks, if there's a need that we have, could they fulfill that, and is it something that Nico Harrison should go after? How's it going, everybody? My name is Marcel Martin. This is Mavs Digest, bringing the latest news on everything Mavericks related. And before we get started with today's video, I just want to thank you guys so much for smashing that like button on the last video. We got over 1,000 likes on the video from yesterday. And I want to challenge you guys to try and get 1,000 likes on this video as well. I get well over 1,000 views. I think 1,000 likes is not too much to ask for. I think we can do it. But like I said in the intro, we still have one roster slot open, about $4 million left. We could go out and get somebody. We could also save that money, maybe use it to pay someone else. But if we are going to use that roster slot and that $4 million to round out the roster, there are certain positional needs, maybe another ball handler like we talked about in the last video, or maybe get a stretch four, maybe get another center. We do have a lot of guards, so that's probably not the best option. But you guys were pretty adamant in the comments section of my last video on what this team needs. One comment saying we need to trade Maxey. It's time for him to go. We need an upgrade at that spot. And other comments like this one pretty much were all the same, saying, personally, I would love Prince, Covington, or Sadiq Bey for the bench. We need 3 and D. A lot of you guys in the comment section were all pretty much saying the same thing, that, okay, Dennis Smith Jr. may be a nice pick. He is very good defensively, but we need someone at that 4 spot. A lot of you guys have sounded off, and I heard you loud and clear. You are sick and tired of Maxey Kleber at the 5 whenever we go small, and I understand that Jason Kidd does sometimes favor Maxey. It makes you scratch your head, like, why are you always playing him? And it might be because Jason Kidd comes from an older time in the NBA's history, in the early 2000s, where your veteran players got meaningful minutes over the younger players. And that might be the one thing that Jason Kidd is having a hard time adjusting to. But whenever the Dallas Mavericks feel the need to go small, space the floor, we played Maxey because we didn't have a better option. And I think going forward, if the development of Derrick Lively continues, he could potentially help us space the floor. We saw him shoot a 3 in a finals game. We know he can shoot the 3s in open gym. So the development of Derrick Lively could definitely help us in that position, but I think we're a little bit too far away from actually using Derrick Lively. But like I said, I hear you loud and clear. Maxey is not the answer. That's the one position that we need to improve on. Right now, PJs are starting power forward. I'm not sure if that's going to change between now and the start of the season, but as of right now, PJs are starting power forward. Maxey's the backup, and you're sick and tired of Maxey, and I understand that. But the new reports that I saw just the other day, it shows that the Philadelphia 76ers are the favorites to win the Marcus Morris Sr. sweepstakes. I didn't know that there was a sweepstakes for Marcus Morris. Now, although we don't have the best odds, we're still, we're kind of down there, but we're in the top 10 at least for the best odds, plus 315 to get Marcus Morris. So is this a player that we could actually use in the Dallas Mavericks? Is he someone that could actually back up PJ Washington? Well, let's take a look at his stats just from last season, where he played with the Philadelphia 76ers, but also he split time playing in Cleveland. And for last season, his stats are very similar to Maxey Kleber's stats. They are not that far off on paper. Marcus Morris, he had 6.4 points, 2.7 rebounds, 0.7 assists, 0.3 blocks, 0.3 steals, 0.6 turnovers, 1.5 fouls per game, shooting 43% from the floor, 40% from 3. He shoots 42% on corner threes, 93% of his threes are assisted, and 41% of all shots are threes. And just a quick glance, yes, if you want to look at his numbers, it's nothing to really to just be ready to just sell everything for. Maybe not even throw a complete bag at you. Give him the little $4.4 million that we have. And if you think he can replace Maxey, obviously we would have to do a sign trade to get rid of Maxey. But if we could pick up Marcus Morris and maybe down the road we do dump Maxey, then sure, you have him come off the bench to back up PJ. I would argue Marcus Morris is a better defender than Maxey. Obviously Maxey is injured right now. I understand that. We all saw what happened in the playoffs. And Maxey has had bright spots. I don't want this to be a video where I'm just bashing on Maxey. I do enjoy the time that he's had here. When healthy, when everything's good, Maxey is amazing. We've seen him just shoot lights out from 3. We've seen him play excellent defense. But the fact of the matter is, Maxey might be just hitting his stride, going to his wonder years where he's just no longer serviceable to the team. We're trying to win a championship. And even though I don't think Marcus Morris wins you a championship, I don't think keeping Maxey as our only option at the 4 behind PJ is also going to help us win a championship. Of course, PJ does a great job, arguably one of our best on-ball defenders. Now that we got Quentin Grimes and Najee Marshall, we got a lot more defenders now, but PJ has been a great defender for this team. At times, he can be our third scoring option. Obviously, we have Klay Thompson, so the team's offense is fine. But defensively, PJ does very well. And again, whenever Jason Kidd wants to space the floor and go small, he goes to Maxey Kleber. But Marcus Morris has a better defensive rating than Maxey Kleber, and he also has pretty better overall stats. I mean, I'll pull up his numbers again for the last season. He averaged 6 points, 2 rebounds, and 0.1 assists. I think Maxey got more boards and maybe 1 whole assist over Marcus Morris. But Marcus Morris is putting up these numbers on less minutes than Maxey Kleber. If Jason Kidd played Marcus Morris the same amount of minutes that he would play Maxey Kleber, I'd argue that Marcus Morris points, rebounds, assists, all of his numbers would improve, especially in the Dallas Mavericks system. So, is Marcus Morris a good fit for the Dallas Mavericks? I think so. Obviously, his brother has had a big impact on the team, someone that a lot of the guys in the locker room do look up to and do respect, and having his brother there, I think, would also help in the locker room, whether or not we play him over Maxey, whether or not we just give him a small one-year contract, you're on the team, $4 million, here you go, and just have another locker room player. I think that has benefits too. There's a lot of players out there that we could go get. I saw a lot of what you guys were saying, but to use your last slot on someone that's a little bit more necessary to put in either the starting lineup or to be the 6 man off the bench, I don't think you waste your last spot on that. I think you use your last roster spot on someone like a Marcus Morris, who you could see if does this player play better than Maxey? Does this player fill the need that we have by trying to play small? And I think Marcus Morris definitely could provide value, but that's all to be seen. I still trust Maxey. I still like him on the team. I just don't necessarily like the way Jason Kidd uses him, where sometimes it does kind of play to our detriment. I mean, we saw in the playoffs, although we did beat the Clippers, we did all see how in Game 4 things just looked ugly. James Harden was going floater after floater after floater after floater, about 5 or 6 floaters, and Maxey was just standing there, just a cone. Whereas we've seen Maxey also be able to alter shots and play great defense. The highs and lows of Maxey, I'm willing to live and die by, but if we can improve in that position, then I think we should definitely do it. But a few other players that maybe we can't afford, but it's still interesting to look at, that may also fill that role, is right here. The Wizards' asking price for Kyle Kuzma remains 2 first-round picks. The Kings continue to be mentioned as a strong suitor for Kuzma as Washington surveys the trade market. Do I think it's realistic for the Dallas Mavericks to get Kyle Kuzma? No. And I'd also argue and say a lot of you guys wouldn't want Kyle Kuzma. I mean, we saw what he said at the trade deadline, that his timeline doesn't match up with ours, pretty much saying that we could not win a championship if we just made the finals. So yeah, I understand why a lot of us wouldn't want Kyle Kuzma, but we do still have 2 first-round picks that we can move. And if you add Maxey's contract with probably Jaden Hardy, Dante Exum, you probably could make a swing for Kyle Kuzma. Do I think Nico will do it? No. But could he? Possibly. Do we get outbid from other teams like the Kings? Most definitely. But we do have a roster spot. We have $4 million. Do we need to go out and get somebody? Do we keep the team as is? And this is the last thing I want to talk about right here. The Mavs have one more roster spot available, created by Markieff Morris' free agency. So we don't even have Markieff back yet. That last roster spot is his roster spot. But think Mavs would like to bring him back, but remains to be seen. Another roster spot could be created pretty easily if needed by waiving AJ Lawson in his non-guaranteed deal. So if we want to bring back Markieff Morris just for being just that leader in the locker room, just being that great just vibes guy that we also have in Dwight Powell, who I guess we're not going to get rid of, we could also just waive AJ Lawson. We get Marcus Morris. We got both Morris brothers. We got Dwight Powell. The vibes are through the roof. The Mavericks are good. We don't always have to go to Maxey. We got Marcus. I think for a cheap and easy fix, it's a no-brainer. But obviously, you guys have commented. There's a bunch of other players that you'd rather go get. But I'd also argue that for your last slot, your 15th roster slot, you're probably going to get somebody that you're okay with just benching a few DNPs, kind of like an emergency player. We saw last year how our last roster spot was given to Derrick Jones Jr., and he became a starter and then left us for the Clippers. So who knows? Maybe the same thing could happen to Marcus Morris. But you guys let me know down in the comment section down below. I understand that the power forward position is a position that we need. But who do you want us to see us go after? Or who would be your dream power forward to go after? You let me know down in the comment section down below. But that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for making this far into the video. Make sure you check out our Twitter and Discord. Links in the description below. Consider becoming a channel member. We are doing another giveaway. We'll do a live stream sometime this weekend to announce the winner. But until next time, y'all take care, and don't forget, drink water.